I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, September the 17th, brought to you in part by Zactran. Bovine respiratory disease steals pounds, Zactran pounds back. Remember to observe your 35-day withdrawal period after treatment. For more information, go to Zactran.com or visit with your BI representative. Consensus or agreement, we need that. And haven't kept you guys abreast of the major issues that we can do something about to maybe help our problems in your fat cattle arena and what you guys are getting for fat cattle, which trickles down to your calves and yearlings, and like it or not, our iron's kind of getting cold here. We're not getting anything done. There's been a lot of talk about it, a lot of talk in D.C. USDA has made several statements about some of these issues. Even President Magoo has come out and made some statements about it. But we're not getting anything done, just a bunch of talk. We've got several bills that are before the House and the Senate, but we haven't got anything done about those either. We've got to get something done, and the main issues I'm talking about are the two, your truth in labeling, which we've seen that mandatory country of origin labeling now has got a bill to be reintroduced or brought back, and we're seeing that the administration is pretty much behind that. It looks like it's got bipartisan support, but we're not getting it done. Of course, it would take a year before they enact it because we've got to get around the WTO rules if we get that pushed in. But we've got that, and then we've got the other bill that has to do with truth in labeling, which is a USA Beef Act. The USA Beef Act would say that if you put on a package of beef that it's a product of the USA, then it damn well better be a product of the USA, and I mean born, raised, backgrounded, fed, and harvested and processed right here in the good old US of A. Now, that seems like what we want. Mandatory country of origin labeling is that and more. It would go as far as on the label it would put any country that product could be from. So, you know, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it either is or it ain't. I don't really care where it's at. The only problem with mandatory cool is it's going to slow processing a little bit because they've got to keep track of the different places that it could be from. I would probably more likely to see mandatory country of origin labeling where it's a product of North America or not. Of course, that waters it down, and we've seen you know, NCBA come out and said that they don't think it should be you know, a product of the USA or country of origin labeling. They think it should just be processed in the USA. That's basically what we have now. They bring in a bunch of product, dump it into a grinder, mix it all up, and then put on their product of the USA, which it's not. A lot of it's not a product of the USA. And if any of it's not, then it shouldn't have that on there. But we've got to come to a consensus on that. Which one of those are we going to push? We're not going to get both. They're pretty redundant, actually. So that's probably not going to happen. We've got to get some consensus on that, get it pushed through, get it voted on, and get it done. We need that. Okay, the other one is the one that closer and more dear to my heart, which is the mandated minimum negotiated cash mandate for your negotiated fat cattle sales. We're dwindling down. We're not hardly getting enough negotiated cash fed cattle sales each week to amount to anything, especially in the Southern Plains. So far this week through Thursday, there's 3,700 in the whole Texas feedlot area that's negotiated cash. So we've got to get something done on that. Now, most people agree that we do need something on there. Well, we've got two bills. We got the Grassley bill, the 5014, which means that 50% of the plants, the major plants, processing beef plants, those cattle should be negotiated cash and delivered within 14 days. That's a pretty big ask right there. It's not so much in Iowa. It's maybe not even so much in Nebraska. But you get down into Kansas and Texas, and it's a huge ask. And for most of us that live down in that area, we agree that it's not doable. And even your Grassley staffers, Chuck Grassley championed that bill. He's working for his constituents there in Iowa that have had policy for that for a long time. It'd be great if we can get it. But, we don't know if we can get that. Then we got the other bill, the Deb Fisher bill, which is a Cattle Market Transparency Act, which would make different minimum percentages within different geographical regions for your major packers, major facilities. Each facility, that's the big deal on it. It's not just for that geographical area, it's per facility, and that is major. That would make a lot more difference than most people really believe. So, but it also introduces, asking for the library of sweetheart deals. It also brings in having those percentages being adjustable, which is huge. That language in that bill is something that we definitely need. Well, we've got supporters for both bills, but probably not enough for either one to get them pushed through. We got to get a consensus. We've been talking with the Grassley staffers and with the Fisher staffers, at least with U.S. Cattlemen's Association, about getting some kind of a consensus or doing a compromise for both bills. Well, the one that we've kind of gotten behind, and at least the U.S. Cattlemen's Association has decided to push, is the 50% compromise. And that starts to get a little bit more tricky, but it would take whatever your percentage is now within those geographical regions. Let's say we're at 7% in Texas, which is not a hell of a lot. And in fact, if you just put negotiated cash and don't introduce negotiated grid, it's likely not that much. But let's just say we're at 7%. Then it would take it 50% beyond that and set that as a rule. So that would take you roughly 3.5, 50% of that would be 3.5, would take you somewhere between 10 and 11%. You think, well, that's nothing. That would be huge in Texas. I mean, it would move mountains in Texas. We'd do the same thing in Kansas. Now you think, well, what are you going to do in Iowa? Iowa's roughly 50% now. Are they going to take that and add 25 to it, then make it 75? No, what they've decided in there is once you reach 50%, then that would be where you stay. That would be the mandate where you stay. Either one of these bills, and both of them can get done. We just got to get them done. We got to get them voted. We got to get them, put them up for debate, get them voted on, get them passed. We need to be getting it done. Your mandatory price reporting has to be, put back in here at the end of this month. So like within 2 weeks, we got to get something done. I think we could get it done if we'd hurry up and do it. But, talk to the people that you know within our trade associations, even within your grassroots association, if it's a state or even a county association. Tell them that we got to get something done and get the phone call started moving up the line. The iron's getting cold, guys. We've got the market up a little bit here due to supply and demand only and without any help with our trade. But, when fat cattle are bringing, 123, 124, you may still not be making money in that. But historically, there's a lot more people that sold cattle 123 and 124 dressed than they have lives. It's not a terrible price. We've got these yearling feeder cattle bringing, in the 160s. It's hard to complain about that price, but we know it's going to go back down. But we got to get something done. We need to move forward here. Your administration, the White House, is ready to support that. They're ready to push that because they're trying to use beef and the other meats as a scapegoat for this inflation. So let's use that and let's get it pushed through. If we have to take advantage of that, let's go ahead and put it through and do that. This inflation is getting completely out of control. I know you guys see it where you live. I flew out here out west to Reno, Nevada on Thursday. Going to be working with Nevada Livestock Marketing in Fallon on Friday. They got a good sale coming up, 2,500, 3,000 head of cattle. You can watch it on dvauction.com. But coming in here to Reno, pulled up to a convenience store and I saw this picture right here. Look at that. A convenience store. I mean, wherever you guys live, your Allsups, your Casey's, your 7-Eleven, whatever they have, Loaf and Jug, Loves, whatever that's in your area. This is just a basic convenience store, just trying to coax people to come to work there for $31,000 a year starting. Hell, it hadn't been that long ago. The guy'd have been tickled to death to get out of college using his degree to get a job like that. But this is all inflation, guys, and the fact that they keep giving the free money away to sit on your ass at home and not work. How do you coax people off the couch to come to work? Let's look at your board on Thursday. October live cattle futures down 57 cents at 123.60. December down 87 at 128.57. You go on your back months of live cattle down 50 cents to up 7 cents, so not a whole lot of activity going on there. We're used to it being down every day here lately, so it wasn't a terrible day. September feeder cattle are actually up on your spot because it's got to align with your index, but up $1.15 at 155.87. October closed at 157.10. You go on your back months, down 45 to up 40, so it was jostling back and forth all over the place. Your corn, December, which is a spot, that's your new crop right now, was down 4 cents at 529.5. But your technical analysts are telling me it's going to settle right in here. It looks like through harvest. Now it may tweak a little bit as we start getting the reports in on how good the yields are, but it's gonna be right in here somewhere between $5 and $5.50 a bushel. You guys that are looking at feeding corn, that means your cost of gains are going to be over $1. They've just about got to be, guys. Fat cattle trade, we had just a smidge of trade, not even hardly enough. We established the market on Wednesday. Thursday we didn't sell enough to amount to anything. A few in the northern plains. Iowa 700 head, only 13,600 head for the week. Few live sales from 123 to 124. That'd be the low side of last week's range. So it's a tweak lower in the northern plains. Nebraska only 400 head and 18,100 head for the week. Few dress sales from 196 to $2. That's a little on the weak side too. Kansas and Texas didn't trade a hoof, negotiated cash on Thursday. Who knows if they'll sell anything that way on Friday, but Kansas only 7,700 head, negotiated cash this week. Texas, like I said earlier, only 3,700, which is nothing. We got to have more than that for transparency and establishing some kind of a market. Box beef cutout values continue to tumble. Choice cuts $318 a hundred, down $1.82. Your select continues to go down harder and faster at $280.27, down $362. And we got nearly a $38 spread between choice and select. They just don't want the select carcasses very bad. Hard to sell. Your slaughter, not too bad in comparison with a year ago. Hard to compare with last week's holiday, but 475,000 so far this week. That's 5,000 less than the same week a year ago. Your actual dress slaughter information come in for the week ending September the 4th with your average dress steer carcass weight at 906 pounds. Wasn't that long ago they were penalizing 900-pound carcasses. Now we got the average of your dress steer carcass weight across the country at 906. That was up 5 pounds, but it was 10 pounds less than the same report a year ago, which was a record high. What else is going on? Let's talk about your LRPs, and I've been kind of telling you guys about that. Livestock risk protection there. You can basically take out a policy and lock in a price, and you can get help with that at Livestock Risk Services. Get a hold of them. They can help you. You can lock in fats for this spring in the mid 130s, which you look out there at the board, that's what it is, for less than $5 a hundred. And I would suggest that no better than this thing's been acting here of late. But, you know, what else is going on to other places? Let's talk about some of these bull sales that Western Video Market is doing in association with DV Auction. Here on Friday, I got the Mid-Valley Bull Sale at the Modesto Junior College in Modesto, California. That's a Schaefer family, Amador family there. They've got some really nice breeding stock. You can get on that sale, dvauction.com, and you can view and bid that sale right there and get some really good breeding stock right there. On Saturday, they've got the Legacy Ranch Horse Sale, Prescott, Arizona. Keykefer or K4 Ranch right there, Diamond A Ranch and Campwood Cattle Company have got horses consigned to that sale, and that's a big time sale out there, and a lot of people are excited about it being on DV Auction. You can watch it right there, view and bid. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be at Fallon, Nevada at Nevada Livestock Marketing. They've got about 500 head of true yearlings off desert grass, and maybe 1,500 to 2,000 new crop calves coming in, and they'd be dried out and pretty hard. Maybe not weaned, but they sure weren't getting much from mama. And then on Monday, going up to Central Oregon Livestock, which is Trent Stewart's sale for a big customer appreciation day up there on Monday. Talk about your feeder cattle market on Thursday. Your real-time index on DV Auction late in the day on Thursday sitting at 150.263. That was down just 13 cents, kind of getting in there kind of around steady, but it's been up and down this week, and that's kind of the way your markets are. True yearlings off grass will still bring it all. Big calves are sucking down on that average, and we're not seeing too many yearlings left. They're just about to run out of them, guys. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock in Salina, Kansas, about 2,000 head for them. It was mostly $2 to $4 lower. Winter Livestock, Pratt, Kansas, 1,100 head there. The yearling type feeders were $3 to $6 lower, and a lot of big calves sneaking up into there. Your lighter stocker weight calves sharply higher. It's just about wheat time, guys. And it was a light test of everything there. They've had so many big sales over the last several months. They've just about shot their wad there in the local area selling cattle until we get you know, moving where more cattle are moving. But Stockman's Livestock Exchange in Dickinson, North Dakota, I talked about them on our last visit. Said they had a lot of those light pee-wee calves, getting a pretty good price on some of them. Look at this one sale they had here, 100 head, 459-pound little stocker steers at $206.75, and that's way up there in North Dakota. How about Mitchell Livestock, Mitchell, South Dakota? Talk about still selling yearlings high. 68 head, 916-pound yearling steers bring $157.10. And then how about Belle Fourche Livestock Market, Belle Fourche, South Dakota? Been dry all around that country. 3,800 head there. And the market report showed that they had kind of a split run between little pee-wee new crop calves and then the last of the big yearlings coming off of there. But it was mostly little pee-wee stockers that we normally wouldn't see for another month or two, and they'd be weighing another 100 pounds or 200 maybe if they'd had a better summer. But on the steers, 842 head, little 4-weight pee-wee steers, average 452 at 197.64. It had 1,047 head of 4-weight heifer calves. The average 444 at 180.55, which is pretty respectful there. But your best quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday, and your Zach Tran top quote for the day, come out of Belle Fourche there, 66 head, 816-pound steers, bring 164 1/4. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.